decide someone's whole life, yeah. Yeah, I'm pro-God and I'm pro-life, and I'm pro-guns, and you know that I am pro-life. I'm pro-life, yeah. Yeah, I'm pro-life. Pro-life, yeah. Yeah, I'm pro-life, yeah. Who are you to decide someone's whole life? Yeah, I'm pro-God, pro-guns, and I'm pro-life.
I'm pro-life, pro-life, I'm pro-life. I told you about 1,000,000 times. Why you gotta take those kids? Why you gotta end them before they begin? Don't you know that your little baby has soul? Every abortion is letting them go. There goes my baby, there goes my heart and my soul. There goes the future, we letting you go. We just cannot see the vision. Mama cannot see why you should keep living. She just going through life, perfectly okay with letting you die. She just painting her nails and saying, oh well, if all else fails, we'll send her to hell. Yeah, I know that it sounds very gruesome. Yeah, I know you tear up when we lose them. People are selfish and people are wicked, not understanding the cost of decisions. If you wanna play the most dangerous game, then gamble with your life like binary vision. That's the way of reproduction, now give it a deconstruction. One cell becomes 2, then 4, then 8, and before you know the baby's got it beating, heart to break. Then a couple months and now the little baby got a brain. So tell me how that is your body when the baby comes from pain, or tell me how that is your body when the baby's listening. So excited to see the world, just a little baby girl, so let her have your whole life. I know it's worth sacrificing.
Yeah, I'm pro-God and I'm pro-life, and I'm pro-guns, and you know that I am pro-life. I'm pro-life, yeah. Yeah, I'm pro-life.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages from all across the world. Long time no see. How are you all doing this afternoon? It is November 7th, 2022, and it is a bright and early, or I should say maybe late Monday. It's 4:03 p.m. As you guys know, we go live every week on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, Mondays and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern for this show, The Chandler Brief, where we delve into everything that is going on in the world of politics, news, culture, entertainment, or as you just heard, a little bit of music. Usually it's my own music, although sometimes we branch out a bit. We've been playing some music more recently that really just represents the hilarious things that are happening. I might make that more of a staple of these shows, who knows. But American Creationist says, fire. Nice to see you back here, American Creationist. Whenever we have like return names, I'm pretty good at remembering the names. Like, you know, I don't know about a face, and I'm pretty good with faces. I can't really connect them together. But a name, if you come into the show more than twice, maybe 4 or 5 times, like American Creationist has, I'm going to remember that name. Of course, we have the beautiful and loyal Susanna Donovan in the building. And then also, huge shout out to the folks we got watching us live over on Rumble. We got Nomad 0036 over there on Rumble. Shout out to my folks watching us on all platforms. You guys know we go live on a multitude of platforms on each of these scheduled shows, and we delve into all the news. But of course, as you guys hopefully know by now, these shows are not archived on YouTube usually. So if you want to watch these shows afterwards, then I know you guys are just tuning in now, so you're one of the lucky ones. But a good amount of my people don't tune in live. So if you want to be sure that in the future you can watch one of these shows, make sure you consider subscribing to our Rumble channel. Now, I see you guys are already jumping into some of the midterms topics. Susanna Donovan's just dropping a whole list right there. We're going to delve into that, of course. But first things first, how you guys did over the weekend. I want to know if everybody had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend, very productive, very exciting. Great things coming very, very soon. Some things that have already come out that we'll talk about a little bit later on in the show. I'm really excited for you guys to see everything that we had worked on, everything that's coming soon. It's going to be great. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And aside from all that, let's get down to the business. Corinne Jean-Pierre, man. Thankfully, she didn't do her press briefing late. Sometimes she's been doing them later on in the afternoon after our show even happens, which is really annoying, or at the same time as my show. But thankfully, today she decided to get out of bed early enough to do it right on time. So we have some Corinne Jean-Pierre madness to delve into. She said here today, we may not know all the winners of the elections for a few days.
What are we talking about?
What is the point of election day anymore? Honestly, I want to know. We may not know all the winners of elections for a few days. It takes time to count all legitimate ballots in a legal and orderly manner. That's how this is supposed to work. Now, before we play this video, riddle me this, all right? I know I'm going to have people sitting here hanging on everywhere like, all right, Chandler, make as much sense as possible or I'm going to comment something negative. And, you know, I don't care if you comment something negative, but I'm going to make a lot of sense here. We have mail-in voting. Some states, it's automatic. You get mail to vote if you're registered to vote whatsoever. Sometimes you request to get a mail-in vote. Whatever. There's systems for that. You can vote really far out in advance. And you can vote without leaving the comfort of your home or wherever you are. Then we also have early voting, sometimes going out weeks before Election Day. I think up to 2 weeks. I'm sure some states have it go for even longer, some states even shorter. But we have all those votes which come in weeks before Election Day. And then the early voting stops, and they have like, what, 5 or so days in between early voting stopping and then the actual Election Day happening in most states. So all those votes have a lot of time to get counted and tabulated. And then you have Election Day. Now, I believe we still have the majority amount of people voting on Election Day. Now, riddle me this, with how much technological advancement we've had with the votes, and, you know, make of that what you will. We've got the voting systems, what is it, Smartmatic and all the other things. What was the one that sued Trump? I can't remember the name anymore. I don't want to. But you guys know what I'm talking about. All these high-tech systems which scan your vote in or even have you digitally punch it in on a tablet instead of actually writing it down. All these different things that's supposed to make the job so very easy and quick. And now in 2022, at the height of our advancement, and you know, that's just the way things go, in 2023 will be at the height of our advancement in 2024. But how is it that in 2022, we're facing elections that go for days, elections that go for weeks? How is it that in 2020, when the most people voted mail-in ballots or voted early when there weren't as many people there ever in an election, did we have to wait a week for the results? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Let's hear what Corinne Jean-Pierre, see if she's got any explanation for the way things seem to be backsliding, because it sure sounds like we're counting votes in the 1800s, not the 21st century.
It took 2 weeks to call every state. In modern elections, more and more ballots are being cast in early voting and also by mail.
That's what I said.
Yep.
She's right. She's not lying.
I'm just being honest.
So let's hear her justification for why it takes longer, shall we?
And many states don't start counting those ballots until after the polls close on November 8th.
Okay.
So you heard the president say this the other night. He has been very clear on this as well. We may not know all the winners of elections for a few days. It takes time to count all legitimate ballots in a legal and orderly manner. That's how this is supposed to work, and it's important for us.
Now, that does make sense what she said. You know what? I'll give her points. Once again, round of applause. For once, she said something that makes sense, but then it does kick it back to the states. Why do they stop? Why do they not count the votes until November 8th? That's a good question. But even in past years, like say 2018, when it wasn't all that different from 2020, or even right now, 2022, it's only 4 years. 2018 was 4 years ago. All right? If somebody was inaugurated president in 2018, their term would just be up in a couple of months right now. So clearly, things haven't changed all that much from 2018. So why is it such a big issue that the press secretary of the United States is coming up in front of us and saying, we may not know all the winners for multiple dates? Linking back to an election that is highly disputed like the 2021 and saying, here's a good reason. You know, it took 2 weeks for the states to be called. Well, yeah, because the states stopped counting votes in the middle of the night. We had pipe bursts and all these different things happen. You know, I'm going to be careful for YouTube's election misinformation because I have been struck down live while streaming by YouTube. So I'm going to be really careful in what I'm saying. But clearly, it's not simply a matter of these things not working the way they used to be, or more and more people are voting this way, which is true, but we also have better systems and more people involved in the vote counting process than we ever have had before. That doesn't explain why things are so slow and so unconfident now. It has a lot more to do with some irregularities that be happening through the majority of these elections. But let's see just the people Jean-Pierre and the others are scared of as to the reason why they're saying, all right, we need to send as much time as we can, count the votes slow. Oh, is that a pipe? I think it's about to burst. Don't look at that person putting votes in their luggage and walking out the room. No, look at that pipe. It's bursting. They're distracting you. Let's see Carrie Lake in Arizona. Now, this is an 8-minute video. We're not watching the whole thing, but she just, oh my gosh. She's obliterating the press again. You guys know every time we play Carrie Lake, it's going to be a slaughter. The press was very well behaved after my event last night. I really do think that I'm teaching them how to be better journalists. Watch the very pleasant Q&A session from last night here. Let's see a couple minutes of this. I am so very curious. Is she being sarcastic, or did she actually whip those press into shape? I'm curious. Before we watch, I'm gonna give you guys a second. Is it one that she's being sarcastic, or two, she actually whipped them into shape? Drop a 1 or a 2 in the chat. I'm thinking it's a 1. I think she is being sarcastic. The press is being terrible. I completely doubt that the press will ever be able to be better than they are now, which is quite terrible. So I don't know. 1s or 2s. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds. USGAG over on Rumble says, howdy dude, been a hot sec. I'm back. Nice to see you again, USG. Or USJAG. What does that stand for? I want to know so I don't have to say USJAG. Or I'll call you USJAG if it doesn't stand for anything. That might work too. No, but seriously, guys, 1s or 2s? I have to know. Is the press actually getting better? Or is she being sarcastic? That's 1. Or is the press actually getting better? Is that 2? I don't know. Susanna says Carrie Lake is a real warrior. We'll see in a second. We'll see. Let's see here. Oh, I want the 1s and 2s to come through. Don't cheat. Don't type the answer after I start playing it. I am just so curious. All right, let's see here. Answer's about to get cut off, so I'm going to see the numbers flooding through, but we're going to start playing this. I am so curious. All right, let's do this.
Sorry, I'm Jonathan. I'm with 12 News. What have you learned so far about the investigation of the substance and the envelopes into your campaign headquarters, and how is your staffer doing?
You know what? I have been so busy campaigning. This happened. I was not in the office. One of our wonderful staffers, a couple of them were actually exposed, and so far they're doing okay. We're monitoring them, and we want to make sure that everything's okay. Apparently, I just learned that they've sent the substance. We were originally told off to Quantico, but apparently there's a closer lab, and that's where they actually sent the substance. So we're going to find out what it was. But listen, we're in dangerous times. This is not the first time we've been threatened. I've been threatened many times. Our tires have been slashed. We've had screws drilled into our tires so that our tires would blow out while we're on the road. We are living in dangerous times, and that's why we need to elect somebody who's strong and a fighter and not a coward. We'll get to the bottom of this. I really don't want to get too far ahead of it. I want investigators to look into it. And I truly want to find the people who sent this, because it's wrong that this is happening, and we're gonna track these people down. And I thank the Phoenix Police Department, Phoenix Fire Department, the bomb squad, and I thank the FBI for their investigation as well.
Okay, so not so bad. Let's see one other journalist ask a question, see if it's some stupid stuff. We'll see here.
Sir, what's your name?
Carrie Lake, it's Joe Pike from Sky News in the UK. You seem to be a bit of a sensation in this contest. How far can you go in American politics? Perhaps the White House?
I just want to get into the governor's office and bring some common sense policies to the problems we've been facing for a long time. I got into politics not because I want to be a politician. I'm a mama bear who's fed up with what's happening. And so we're going to win. I think we're going to win, and you can tell, all of you can tell, we're going to win.
The mama bear vibes are real. Okay, let's give him one more, because that was a shortish question. Let's see what this one is here.
Office and turn things around.
I just really want them to make a butt out of themselves. I need to hear it. One more question, one more. I promise this time.
Hi, I'm Alexis, and I'm with Channel 3 and Channel 5.
Okay.
Obviously, this is not the first time that a candidate here in our state has been threatened. How are you feeling knowing that it doesn't matter what party you represent, political candidates are being threatened?
All right, good job. We don't need to hear her answer. You guys, I don't know how many of Arizonans we have in the chat. Obviously, Susanna says, wish Carrie Lake would run for governor in Oregon. I feel that. I wish she would run for governor in Georgia, but we have some pretty okay candidates over here as well. Carrie Lake was in journalism for 27 years, and Arizona loves her. We got any Arizonans in the chat? I'm curious. I know we've had some before, but I don't know if they're in here right now. And speaking of states that I don't know if we have anybody in there right now, although we'll take a look. Pennsylvania. We got any Pennsylvanians in the chat? Catherine says it sure is, probably about Carrie Lake. If Carrie Lake keeps going, she'll surely get to the White House. That'll be interesting to see. Garcon says red wave coming November 8th. All right. Fetterman's campaign. Oh, they gotta cope. They are so very sad. Where's my there it is. The Fetterman campaign is now issuing a memo warning of delays in election results. They are so not ready for the absolute blowout they're going to receive that they're saying the election results may be slow. Don't ask us why or how we know, just know they will be slow. Don't ask us why or how we know. Just know the election will be slow. I can make a bar out of that, I'm sure of it. Fetterman, the Democratic candidate running for the Pennsylvania Senate, has sent out a memo warning that the election reporting process could be delayed by a while and to buckle up for a long week ahead. Interesting phraseology. In his memo, Fetterman lashed out at many Republicans whom he claimed would try to delegitimize the results, including Trump, Ted Cruz, Tucker Carlson, Doug Mastriano, and even his opponent, Mehmet Oz. GOP nominee Dr. Mehmet Oz is currently polling neck and neck against Democratic Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman. On Sunday's episode of Meet the Press, host Chuck Todd told his audience to expect delays in the results from Tuesday's midterms, as many of the battleground states will not have their votes tallied until well past November 8th. Let's hear
I'm
this.
sitting within a chair with you right now to have this conversation, to really just address the fact that I'm absolutely set to serve.
Gosh, I can't. You can't make this stuff up. Let's read the actual memo here, because that was just an article talking about it. But you guys ready? You got your snacks, got your drinks, maybe your reading glasses. I know the text is a little small. I'm squinting myself over here. I'm getting old. All right. Donald Trump reportedly plans to challenge the 2020 elections, starting in Philly, the 2022 election starting in Philly. See, I told you I'm getting old. And he is fixated on challenging the results of Pennsylvania's Senate race as a dress rehearsal for Trump 2024. Here's what Trump said on Saturday night at the rally he hosted for Oz and Mastriano. I'm so worried about Oz and Mastriano. We can't let this happen. The election was rigged and stolen, and we're not going to let it happen. No, we're not going to let it happen. So from now on, you can't do all the things they did to us because they were illegal. They really tried to cut up his phrases to make him sound like Fetterman. Doug Mastriano said the fact that it will take several days to count ballots is an attempt to have the fix in. Tucker Carlson told his Fox News viewers it would be absurd for voters to accept the Pennsylvania election as legitimate if John Fetterman wins. That sounds just completely out of context. Ted Cruz is basically raising doubts about larger cities in Pennsylvania taking too long to count ballots. Notice the severe lack of quotes and a lot of what they're saying. They have to be careful because if they misquote somebody, you can be sued for that. So all they say is, quote, an attempt to have the fix in, and then add their own context around it. Disgusting game. Now, thankfully, it's a political campaign, so everybody knows and expects this, but when it gets pushed out by news services, not as many people are going to be sitting here and say, oh, Tucker Carlson said it was absurd if a Democrat wins. Well, that must mean Tucker Carlson is far right and he doesn't believe in our republic, or as they would say, doesn't believe in our democracy, or something like that, when he said nothing of the sort. Even Oz has reportedly raised doubts about the integrity of the 2020 election results for his own political gain. That one I can't argue with. Back in 2020, he was saying one thing, and now he's saying a different thing, and hey, whatever, Oz, whatever. I've never been one to say, oh, Oz 2022, whatever. I'm just saying I don't like Fetterman. Make the choice of what you will, but I'm going to speak out as much as I can about Fetterman. Counting for ballots cast by mail and early in person cannot begin until Election Day thanks to the GOP-controlled legislature. An intentional move to help Republicans baselessly sow doubt about the election results when it suits them. Pennsylvania is one of the only states that bans pre-processing of early mail-in ballots, forcing county officials to wait until 7 a.m. on Tuesday to begin opening return ballots and scanning them into the system. Okay, so it says right there, Pennsylvania is one of only 8 states, so the majority of states don't even do that. Although I wonder if it's the swing states that we all care about right now, like Georgia and Arizona. Definitely something to look into right there. Because Pennsylvania is one of the only states that reports election day totals first before ballots cast by mail, and because more populated counties around Philadelphia can take longer to report, we should expect one of the most dramatic shifts in the country from initial GOP support and early results to stronger Democratic gains as more votes are processed. Cope it up, Fetterman campaign. Just cope it up. You guys aren't ready for it. And, like I said, I'm not going to be all on the Oz train, but I am going to say it's not looking good. If they're polling neck and neck, and I've said this a million times, I'll say it a million times more. Almost every single poll, even the ones that are reportedly Republican leaning, are generally like a left lean, even if it's the most minor amount. So if you see a poll where a Republican is losing only by a few points or is looking like they're going to win by the poll or they're tied, I don't know, man. It might be a just straight up, just out of here. And that theory will be tested come Election Day, which is indeed tomorrow. Although I guess these days it's going to be election week. Election month, election year. We won't know the results of the election until next year. Just go to sleep. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Hey, is that a pipe bursting up there? Tell us, seriously, man. These are the memos that the Fetterman campaign and all these people are putting out there. It's interesting to see the ways that they try to, swing things. But all I could say is keep an eye, folks. Keep an eye. Don't let them do anything. If you've got the ability to be a poll watcher, do it. Do it. And if you haven't already, make sure you get out there if you have the opportunity, early vote or vote on Election Day. I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends I know and a lot of people in Georgia have early voted. In fact, it shattered expectations, which is just really hilarious. So whatever state you're out there in, go out there, do your job, vote for, whatever candidate you support, vote down a line or do a mixed ballot. I know a lot of people do that. It's a good idea regardless. Make your voice heard. Do what you can. And as a Garcon says, red wave coming November 8th. So very true. All right, we're going to jump in on Georgia in just a minute. Hold on. Let me kick this person out my chat. There you go. All right, cool. If you are interested in supporting the show, however, I would like to remind you guys the show is supported by viewers like you. We don't have any YouTube super chat or anything like that. So if you want to join the Hall of Heroes and also the Hall of Champions, which I'll be updating for November soon as they roll in, make sure you use that link right up there on the left and use your phone, scan it in. It'll take you right to our website where we process donations. If you use Cash App, you can also use the code on the right. Either one will take you to an option to support the show. You leave a message or you leave a message saying anonymous, and I won't share your name, but if you leave a message, I'll have a bit of your name and then also your message. If you ask a question, all that is available for you guys right down there. So the link is in the description, link is scrolling on the bottom of the stream, and it's right up there. Easy, very, very easy to do. Make sure you check it out if you want to support the show, support my ability to keep bringing these streams, content, music, new merchandise, all the things I do for this. Make sure you support the show if you're interested. Shout out to the folks we have in the chat here on YouTube and especially over on Rumble. If you guys haven't already, make sure you check us out over on Rumble. Even if you watch me on YouTube just because you think it's more convenient, I urge you to consider giving Rumble a shot. It is a great platform. We have actually more people watching us on Rumble right now than YouTube, which is, I'd say, something to celebrate right there. But I wanna destroy YouTube, honestly. I want nobody left watching this platform after what they've done to me and pretty much everybody else. So if you're interested right now, you have a Rumble account, you aren't already watching us over Rumble, make the switch. Come on, just do it. Make the switch, especially since a good amount of our streams will soon become Rumble exclusive streams at some points, and a lot of our stream archives are exclusively over on Rumble as well. All great things you should check out. And while you're over on our Rumble, make sure you also visit our locals community for a place where you can be yourself, share the things you want to share, and hear about all the things I'm up to, as well as notifications about when we go live. But now it's time to switch gears and check in on Georgia. I saved the best for last. I really, really did. And yes, I am a Georgia boy, but truly, come on. This is the race that a lot of people are keeping their eyes on right now. We have a few other ones I didn't talk about, like New York and Nevada, but Georgia's pivotal. A wise man once said, "So goes Georgia, so goes America." And I say that is so very true. Oh, I think we got a Garcon over on Rumble now. Nice to see you. Is that you, a Garcon, Mr. A.B. Anthony Bay? Is that you over on Rumble? A Garcon, you're sending the same message. I think it is you. Shout out to a Garcon for making the switch to Rumble. Let's give him a round of applause. Come on, guys. Put your hands together. You love that. I really do love that. All right, let's jump in. Kemp and Walker hold leads in major Georgia midterm races in final Insider Advantage / Fox 5 poll. The final Insider Advantage Fox 5 poll ahead of Tuesday's midterm election in Georgia shows Republican Herschel Walker with a narrow lead in the race for U.S. Senate and incumbent Republican Governor Brian Kemp continuing to lead in the gubernatorial race. In the U.S. Senate race, Walker has 49% ahead of Democratic incumbent Warnock with 47%. 1% of the likely voters surveyed said they would vote for Libertarian Chase Oliver, with 4% either choosing other or undecided. In the race for governor, Brian Kemp continues to hold a lead of 50% with Democratic nominee Stacey Abrams at 45%. So sad. Hey, Stacey, come here. I got a secret for you. I got something I want to tell you.
That was diabolical.
Get out of my state. Go back to Golden Corral. You don't belong here. Libertarian Shane Hazel has 1%, with the other 4% of the likely voters either having no opinion or remaining undecided. In the race for Lieutenant Governor, Republican Burt Jones is 50% ahead of Democratic Charlie Bailey, etc., a few more statewide races. Insider Advantage chairman Matt Towery, who oversaw the poll, says it appears both the race for governor and lieutenant governor appears headed to Republican wins without a runoff.
Ultra. MAGA.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better!
Amazing. Ironically, the poor performance by Stacey Abrams in her contest appears to be impacting Senator Warnock in his race. No, she's bringing him down with her. She's bringing him down with her. Clefon says, I found you on Facebook. Is that okay as well? Facebook is even lower on the totem pole than YouTube. I love all my Facebook people. You know, I'd rather you watch me on YouTube than Facebook. And I proudly stream on Facebook. I will until they ban me. I've got no problem with streaming over there. I think it's a great platform for streaming. But I encourage you. I'd rather you be on YouTube, but check out Rumble. I guarantee you, a lot of the people you watch on Facebook are definitely on Rumble as well, or they will be very soon. Rumble is on the up and up. They're doing amazing things. Check it out. Sign up today. It'll be like the last platform you got to sign up for. That one, Parler, Truth Social. You can pick between the last two, whichever one you prefer. Those three platforms are really the way to go for alt tech right now. So definitely check it out. I love my Rumble people. Y'all are holding it down for me. So yeah, definitely make sure you check it out. Man, the final breakdown of early voting in Georgia indicates a less than robust African-American turnout. Our weighing adjusts that demographic at a higher final percentage in the event there is a more traditional / more robust turnout on election day. Because you got to remember, they're basing this a little bit off of 2020 data in which a lot of people did not want to show up on election day because of, COVID, while African-Americans traditionally vote an overwhelming number for Democrats, our recent surveys have shown Walker with a solid 20% of that vote.
Stop the cap.
No cap about that, though. That's...
Yep.
20%. Among white voters, Walker is surpassing the magic 61% usually needed for a Republican to win the race. Brian Kemp's strong performance may well lift all boats and put Walker over the necessary 50% plus one needed to escape a runoff. We expect Kemp to hit at least a 54% in the final vote and likely above that. With the rest of the GOP ticket above 50%, there is an increasing likelihood of a straight-up Walker win. Warnock's best hope is to hold Herschel Walker just under 50 and live to fight on in a now shortened Georgia runoff, which would favor Walker, added Towery. Insider Advantage was recently named the second most accurate national pollster for the 2016 and 2020 race, Senate and gubernatorial election cycles, and the third most accurate for the 2020 presidential by Real Clear Politics. So, hey, make of that what you will. This is one of the most accurate pollsters in the nation, and they're saying it is likely that Herschel Walker and Brian Kemp are going to walk away from this, not even to a runoff, just an outright oof, over. Done. Get out of here. Go home. Don't come back. Do not pass go. Do not cut like $200. You're done. Cindy Lou says, hey, Chandler used to be B. Deering, switched up. Stacy is not happening in Georgia. I appreciate it, B. Deering, or I guess if you want me to call you Cindy Lou now, I'll recognize that. AO26 in the building says, red wave, please. I'll give that a big fat.
Yep.
So true. Susanna says, Walker has been working like crazy every day. He's been all over the state. He truly has, and I love to see it. I love to see it. Let's move on, though, because we got it. Clearly, Joe Biden is quite a bit rattled. He's rattled. He's not ready for what's coming next. He's literally falling off the stage while giving a speech in support of some of his midterm candidates. Watch this.
This year, Big Pharma lost, and the American people won. We put a cap at $2,000 a year on prescription drugs for seniors, no matter what their cost. 2, 10, 12, 15. Oops, stepping on it's black. Anyway. chocolate chip.
I think he stepped on some ice cream, guys. I think he slipped. Somebody had the whip.
Stepping on it's black. Anyway. No matter what.
Why did he say that? So obviously he was like slipping on a speaker or something. Come on, guys. And you know what? Every single time conservatives put out a post, I shouldn't even say conservatives, people, common sense people put out a post laughing about Joe, when they put out a post chronicling, because, you know, some people laugh, some people are very sad, chronicling Joe Biden's decline, and even his ability to move, walking upstairs, and when he fell down the Air Force One flight steps, or when he's walking off stage, shaking hands with ghosts, looking left and right, like, where do I go? What do I do? And there's a lot of Biden defenders that are like, well, here's a video of Trump doing something similar. One time, you know, there's like 2 occasions of this in which it was a legitimate confusion and not some, oh, I'm old, what, I forgot where I'm going, but more like, oh, I thought we were supposed to be here. Okay, we're going here? All right, good. We've seen that comparison, and they make it every single time saying, oh, Trump is just as old and just as senile. No, man. Stop the cap. Just get out of here.
I got hairy legs.
And you ain't black.
Come on. That's your guy right there.
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
And those people laughed at that. They laughed at that. And that's their guy? I don't know, guys. I don't know, man. Let's keep going. Because Joe apparently has some big things coming out as well. This is an exclusive story coming from the Daily Mail. And woof. This came out just today, just in time for the midterms. I'm rather excited for it. Shout out, is it Garcon? Is that still you over on Rumble? You didn't confirm if that's you or not, or if that's somebody else. I recognize you're saying the same things. But Anthony Bay, if you're somebody else, let me know. I want to make sure I'm getting the names right. Joe was centered on the returns in the family coffers. Whistleblower claims Hunter and then Vice President Biden were part of a group call to discuss online gambling venture in Latin America. The president talking like he was chairman of the board. Uh-oh. Joe Biden was involved in his son Hunter's foreign business deals while he was vice president, a new whistleblower with direct knowledge claims. The whistleblower has identified themselves to Senate investigators but asked to remain anonymous for fear of reprisal. The informant says they were party to a 2012 conference call involving then VP Joe, Hunter 52, his business partner Jeff Cooper 53, and late Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid and his son Kay, who was also in business with Hunter. The spring 2012 call was about Hunter, Kay, and Jeff's new venture into online gambling in Latin America, the whistleblower said, adding that Joe was active on the call discussing details and appeared to be involved as a silent partner. He wasn't passive, he was talking about it. If I had to describe him, he was like a member of the board of directors. In a statement to the Daily Mail, Cooper denied ever having a call about any of his companies with the president or late senator, saying it was a complete fabrication. Kay, Hunter, and the White House did not respond to requests for comment. This whistleblower coming out to claim that they were involved in Ocho, es hora de jugar. Oh no. Oh no. On the alleged call, Joe asked about revenue projections when the company's software would be ready and congratulated Cooper on securing gambling licenses from the Peruvian government. With the direct observations I've had, it's obvious Joe was participating in the business. The alleged call was not recorded, but Daily Mail has independently verified the whistleblower was closely involved in Cooper's company for years, including at the time of the conference call, and was in a position to be involved in discussions on Ocho's business development. Aspects of the source's story were verified using published government records and corporate filings. The whistleblower also provided documents, emails, and photographs corroborating their account of their involvement with Cooper and Hunter's company. FBI, open up! When's it gonna happen? When is the FBI showing up at Joe Biden's Delaware vacation home? When are they going to scale the 9-10 foot wall that he's got in front of the place? Because too many journalists were coming. But of course, there should be no wall on the border unless, it might actually benefit them politically, which, that's, kind of a flip of the coin right there. Until illegal aliens start showing up in New York, they won't deal with the wall at all. But when is the FBI going to show up at his home and say, all right, we need this, 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 and this? Isn't it par for the course for all calls between, high-ranking government officials like presidents and vice presidents to be recorded? This was while Joe Biden was the vice president. Spring of 2012. They were in the middle of a re-election campaign, actually. Just in the middle of it. Joe and Obama out there in the field, talking to people, shaking hands, kissing babies. I'm sure Joe really liked that part. Trying to make sure that they can stay in the White House for another 4 years and continue the slowest economic recovery we have seen in American history. That's what they wanted to continue. Hey, throw your hands up in the air, say that's the truth. But in all seriousness, while in the midst of this fight for his life, his political life, why not hop on a call with my son, who's the smartest guy I know, just so happens to be a couple of years. Actually, at that point, Hunter Biden hadn't ruined his life quite yet, had he? It hadn't all fallen off the rails, because what happened? He got kicked out of the Navy at some point. I think that was like 2014, and he got with his dead brother's wife in like 2017 and 18, and he started doing coke and stuff and crack. That was like 2016, 17, 18. So his life really hadn't fallen off the wagon yet. So I guess at that point, maybe Hunter Biden could be the smartest guy he knows. I don't know. I don't know much about any other Hunter Biden madness that happened before 2016 and all that, because that's stuff that's on the laptop. That's what we care about, and the things we got from the business deals and the emails. But I'm sure it's so much worse than we could imagine, because it's not like Hunter snapped his hands and decided to start living like he was a video game. No, this is how he was raised, truly. But in all seriousness, how could Joe, with the smartest guy he knows, Hunter, get on the phone in the middle of a re-election campaign and start talking about a online gambling site? These people, man, they're so stupid. They're so stupid. So then it says, how's the weather in Georgia, Chandler? It's starting to get cold. It's starting to get cold. I'm real worried. I don't like the cold. They are the second person to come forward attesting to Joe Biden's involvement in his son's foreign business dealings, after Hunter's former business partner Tony Bobulinski revealed in October 2020 that he discussed their deal with Chinese oil giant CEFC directly with Joe Biden. Other partners in the Chinese deal also texted Bobulinski that Joe was involved, and emails on Hunter's abandoned laptop refer to Hunter allegedly holding 10% of the equality in the deal on his father's behalf. You know, every time we hear accusations of something, if there's more than one accusation corroborating that claim, let's say back in 2018 with Kavanaugh, we had Christine Blasey Ford come forward, and that was like, oh, okay, well, that's it? Okay. And then suddenly 10, 20, 30 other women start coming forward with claims. And suddenly everybody's like, okay, well, obviously, Kavanaugh is a rapist, if you guys know what I'm referencing right there. So he can't be a Supreme Court justice. And they were saying all this and all that. And we had Christine Blasey Ford come through and give the most contradictory testimony we've heard in American history. I mean, just all over the place. And then he showed up with receipts and said, all right, this is where I was on this day. This is where I was on this day. Not only was I not at that party, I barely know Christine Blasey Ford. Boom. Thankfully, they didn't kick him out of the committee or anything like that. And obviously, this never went to trial. She never reported it to any police, so there was no concerns whatsoever about that. But so when it's their side and there's 1 or 2 or 20 accusations, well, that's it. But for Bobulinski and this other unnamed source, and probably many other people who could come forward with accusations, not to mention those that also texted Bobulinski stating that Joe Biden was involved, it means nothing. Nobody investigates. Nobody cares. Now, there are a couple of investigations currently happening. However, if anything will happen to those, throw your hands up and say, who knows? Who knows? Will they make an example out of Hunter Biden? Maybe. Mostly because he made so many obvious mistakes. Like, as a Democratic, left-wing politician, you're not supposed to let it all fly out in the air like that. Now, he's lucky to be in a period right now where people can look you in the face and say, well, the sky actually isn't blue. And say, well, actually, the sky is red. And you could say, oh, I thought you were going to say, oh, something about the sky, being a refraction of colors and the atmosphere. Like, no, well, yes, but no, the sky is red. Just lie to your face and expect you to believe it. Like saying the Hunter Biden laptop wasn't real. They came back a year and a half later and said, oh, actually, we weren't, we were kind of lying. The Hunter Biden laptop, it's true. Every single inch, every word, every email, every text, every picture. We've seen the pictures, Hunter. They were true. But of course, they get away with all the lies, and then we start thinking about other things. So, hey, why don't we just give them what they want and move on to the next story, shall we? I sure hope Hunter Biden gets some justice. Anyways, Elon Musk is out there in the field talking about the midterms, and whew, this stuff couldn't get any spicier than it is right now. It really couldn't. This is some real crazy stuff. All right, let's move on. To independent-minded voters, he tweets, shared power curbs the worst excesses of both parties. Therefore, I recommend voting for a Republican Congress, given that the presidency is Democratic. Even Elon Musk, in his ultra-logical and real, what's the word I'm looking for? The centrist ways that he tries to go for, is saying we need a red wave.
Yep.
Ain't that the truth? He wants you to vote for a Republican for Congress. House, Senate, probably even governorships as well. He wants it, and he wants it now. Elon also says hardcore Democrats and Republicans never vote for the other side, so independent voters are the only ones who actually decide who's in charge. Now, Hank Green, who as far as I know is a raging liberal, very mad, says this is an example of a tweet that undermines your ability to prevent Twitter from becoming an $8 per month subscription to the Elon Musk fan club. Okay? Elon responds, like most people in America, I agree with some of the Democrats and some of the Republican policies, but not all. However, if executive and legislative branches are dominated by one party, then we lose balance of power. So he's defending his claims there. He's not necessarily coming out and saying, oh, I'm a proud member of the MAGA. He's not saying he's based or anything, although his first vote for a Republican was Mayra Flores, and I think that's an amazing choice. She's a great one. But still, he's doing it in his own way. Elon Musk is always going to be halfway in, halfway out, and not somebody you should fully lay all your eggs in the basket of him, or say, I trust him 100%, but he comes at things from a very logical standpoint. He gets enemies on both sides, sides, and I'd say that's a good thing and an annoying thing at the same time. So he says he'd probably, if we had Trump in office right now, he'd probably say we need a Democrat Congress. And you know what? I understand why he would say that. But right now, I'm going to take the win where I can get it. If you like Elon Musk and you're a liberal, it's time to change your ways. It's time to either sell your Tesla, get rid of your flamethrower if you were one of the people that bought one of those, throw your boring company mug against the wall, and go out there and vote blue no matter who. But if you've got a little bit of sense in your mind and you think Elon Musk is the smartest guy on the planet, it's time to vote red. Oh, I love it. I really, really do love it. But that's not all he's been up to in the last couple of days. No. As you guys know, he's been involved in a very high-profile purchase of Twitter, and he's been really changing up the rules over there. And quite a few people have gotten the boot already.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
He can't keep getting away with it, guys. He can't. Comedian, and I really want to put this in quotes. All right, comedian. When was the last time Kathy Griffin made anybody with more than 8 brain cells laugh? I think that would date back to the Stone Age, and that's probably when she was born as well. Comedian Kathy Griffin suspended from Twitter after mocking, and they don't say it in the headline, but impersonating CEO Elon Musk. It wasn't clear whether the suspension was a direct result of her ribbing the billionaire, but Musk warned that impersonator accounts without a parody label would be banned. Comedian, once again in quotes, Kathy Griffin's Twitter account was suspended Sunday, the same day she changed her page's title to Elon Musk, and mocked, also impersonated, the new CEO. It wasn't clear whether okay, we already read that. Twitter's policy has always prohibited impersonation, but the immediate action is new. Musk would appear to be the main beneficiary of his policy, which might seem to contradict his claim to be a free speech absolutist. No. Examples of suspensions for impersonating other people without the parody label were few. They include a user whose page impersonated right-wing provocateur Andy No, I don't know where right wing comes from, who appealed to Musk personally to take action, and someone whose page impersonated actor Keanu Reeves to criticize Musk's parody policy. In recent days, a wave of Twitter users changed their page titles to his and made statements intended to critique his libertarian outlook and tenure at the platform, which he controls after organizing a $44 billion purchase. Griffin used her Elon Musk account Sunday to urge Americans to vote for Democrats in the midterm elections Tuesday to preserve abortion rights. I've decided that voting blue for their choice is only right. Griffin's spokespeople and Twitter public relations representatives didn't respond for comment. Musk has been widely criticized for his shaky start running Twitter after he criticized its content moderation and promised a new era of free speech. Some feared that Trump, banned for allegedly inciting his supporters' violent invasion of the Capitol on January 6th, will be allowed to return. They're so very scared. And quickly cut Twitter for us. We've already heard about all that. Getting thousands of people laid off / fired. A beautiful thing. But I gotta show you guys something. Not only did Kathy Griffin get kicked off of Twitter off her main account, she went back on her mom's account. Her mom died, I think two years ago. If we go back, scroll here. Her mom last posted on Twitter nearly 3 years ago in 3 years ago in 2019. Oh, hold on, wait. Oh, maybe this isn't. When was the last time she actually posted then? Let's just look it up. What's her name? Maggie Griffin. I just want to know, make sure I'm getting this right. Okay, so Maggie Griffin died March 17th, 2020. So she hadn't posted since 2019, and I guess the last post on there before this recent one was from Kathy Griffin, or using my beloved mother's account, yada yada. So her mother is passed away. Kathy Griffin decided to sign in on her mother's account, disrespecting her name, and is going on saying, poor baby Elon, or poor billionaire baby Elon can't take a joke, hashtag free Kathy, Kathy Griffin can be found at, yada yada, some new social media platform, Mastodon? What is this? Let's take a look here. Oh, they've got another one. There's Tribe Social, and now there's Mastodon. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, she posted on it and said, apologize in advance for all the comments you're gonna have to read about how ugly I am, and they're gonna throw you in there too. Oh, by the way, this is Kathy Griffin. I'm tweeting from my dead mother's account. She would not mind. No, I mean, she probably wouldn't mind if she gave birth to Kathy Griffin, honestly. But in the scheme of things, even if she wouldn't, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Come on, guys. It's just insane stuff from these people. I have no way to justify it. I really do. Or I should say, I really don't have a way to justify it. Cindy Lou says, Twitter is actually pretty cool now. It's getting there. It's getting a bit better. Susanna says, vote Sarah Palin for Congress, Alaska. Don't vote Lisa Murkowski. And Susanna also, Cindy Lou, I heard they can alter weather with military equipment. Oh boy, getting into some conspiracy stuff on here. Shout out to my folks watching us on YouTube, but also huge shout out to my folks over on Rumble. Anthony Bay says, lol, what an idiot. They're idiots too. Blinded. And he says, of course it's him. Appreciate that. Appreciate all my people over on Rumble. Make sure you guys smash that like button over there. It's just the little plus button I'll show you guys. It's just right here. This little plus here. Oh, you're already at 15. Awesome. So make sure you hit that plus if you haven't already. I want to see that number. I want to get to 30. All right. If you're on Rumble right now, take a second, hit that like button, hit that Rumble button, whatever it takes. Let's get to 30. I want to see that happen. I want to double it right now. Right now. Let's do it. All right. Let's move on. We've got more stuff from Twitter to jump into. A story that I doubt many of you are going to care about, but we have to mention because it's just straight up hilarious. Straight up hilarious. How many of y'all have ever watched The View? Wait. Anyone? Come on, guys. We don't have any avid The View watchers. I know some of y'all might have watched them back in like the early to mid 2010s when they were a bit more tolerable. I think my mom watched The View back in the day. I don't know, maybe. I feel like I've seen it on daytime TV a good bit before, but not in recent years, and definitely not in the last 2 or 3. Because, oh my gosh, they have been insane. Insane, so insane they've actually lost a few hosts because of how insane those hosts are, saying some pretty bad things that they had to get kicked off. In fact, I think Whoopi Goldberg got suspended for a few weeks a couple years back. Maybe that was last year. I don't know. Don't keep up with these people. But Whoopi Goldberg, she decided to get back up in everybody's business by getting herself out of everybody's business somehow. She said, as of tonight, I'm done with Twitter.
So it has been a little over a week since Elon Musk took over Twitter, and the place is it's a mess. He's already called back some of the workforce he fired a few days ago. He's putting his $8 charge for blue check verification on hold. First it was going to be $20. Now it's going to be $8. He also suspended Kathy Griffin for impersonating him on a parody account, which has started a free Kathy hashtag to trend. I mean, I'm getting off. I'm getting off today because I just feel like it's all about what I feel like, not what I think, not what I know, not what I believe, not what I researched and can confirm with what I've seen. It's what I believe. It's what I feel. Not even what I believe. That'd be better, but it's what I feel. You know, it's so messy, and I'm tired of now having had certain kinds of attitudes blocked, and now they're back on. And I'm going to get out, and if it settles down and I feel more comfortable, maybe I'll come back. But as of tonight, I'm done.
Don't worry about it. You're going to be all right. You don't need to come back to Twitter. We'll be right. We'll be just fine. All right. It's fine. Hey, Whoopi, you do you, boo. But I think this is the majority of people on Twitter right now, how they feel, in all honesty. And unlike a lot of people, I'll give Whoopi her respect for that. She actually did go and take down her account. We go to @Whoopi Goldberg. Let me type it in here. Go to @Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, well, wait, hold on. I think I typed it in wrong. But if you go to @Whoopi Goldberg, it is gone. Well, let me see if I can get it from this video here. Oh, it's no E. Okay, but you go to @Whoopi Goldberg. Let me see here. It's actually gone. Like, it does not exist anymore. This account doesn't exist. I don't think anybody can go and claim @Whoopi Goldberg, thankfully. But yeah, she deactivated it. It's gone. It's gone. It's not there no more. So hey, I'll give her that respect. If there's one thing I can respect Whoopi Goldberg for, it's following through. A lot of these leftists have said, I'm going to leave Twitter, haven't followed through. They haven't. So hey, shout out to her. Oh, and Elon tweeted. Let's see here. He says, to be clear, my historical party affiliation has been independent with an actual voting history of entirely Democrat until this year, and I'm open to the idea of voting Democrat again in the future. So there he is, once again, appeasing the crowd that's going to be like, yo, you're ultra MAGA. I can't believe you. He's got a longer Democrat voting history than a lot of y'all. He really does. So hey, make of that what you will. Those are our stories for the day, ranging all the way from Whoopi Goldberg, the bottom of the totem pole, all the way up to Herschel Walker, some big news coming from Georgia, and just the general Democrat scaredness of what is happening in this election. They're once again repeating to us all, just take your time. Just take your time. Don't go back. Or, it's going to be a while before we get the election results, okay? Just take your time. And is that a pipe? I think it's bursting. Watch out, the water. Shh, it's flowing. Everybody be scared. It is some hilarious stuff. And hey, make of it what you will. This is some really crazy things happening now. And there's going to be a lot more stories coming for you all really, really soon. So make sure you stay tuned here on the YouTube channel and the Rumble channel. Make sure you subscribe to us over on Rumble for more... Alexa, stop. There you go. Sorry if I activate any of yours. Shout out to everybody who is watching us live on YouTube and on Rumble. I appreciate all y'all for being tuned in. Susanna says, Kyrie's mixed up though, but not as harmful as the trans men. Oh my gosh, y'all are crazy. Stuff with Kyrie Irving, that's big things as well. Lots of things I might have to bring up tomorrow on Crump Live. Make sure you guys tune in with us live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. You're not going to want to miss out on that. But aside from all that, shout out to everybody who's watching us here on YouTube and Rumble. St. John's, nice to see him again. Says, great show, Chandler. Sorry I can't come in often. So busy with work. I feel you, man. Make sure you're tuning in with us over on Rumble. That's where all our stuff is backed up. One of our heroes right there. One of our saints on the channel. Anyways, y'all have a great rest of your afternoon/evening. I've been Chandler. Y'all have been great. Don't forget to spread the rest of intelligence. Peace out and have a great afternoon.
Into the light we go.